On a cold, rainy February day, we left Indiana and headed to Dallas, Texas. We had a super turbulent flight due to the weather, but from Dallas we headed to sunny Los Cabos, and all was smooth sailing on the way there. We arrived at the very busy international airport in Los Cabos and then headed to our resort, the Grand Fiesta Americanos Los Cabos. This is the view from our room. The beach was amazing, and it seemed like the resort came down from the hill and just drifted into the ocean. Los Cabos is at the tip of the Baja Peninsula, and this is where the Pacific Ocean meets the Sea of Cortez. Our resort was along the Sea of Cortez, and it was a rocky beach, but a very beautiful beach. We often spent the days walking along the beach and watching the waves as they rolled in. The resort was beautiful, and the pools were just amazing. I love the tropical plants and the vibrant colors. But even as you were sitting by the pool, your eye just kept being drawn out to the ocean, and you were always hoping to get a glimpse of a whale. One evening we had a Mexican fiesta party for dinner. It was a fun evening and we had a great time. The resort had a disco and dance area, and we spent a couple of nights there. But each morning we would head back to the beach, and we would try to catch a glimpse of some of the wildlife. These were some of the crabs that were walking along the boulders and rocks that lined the beach. They seemed to be everywhere. We continued on down the beach on our walk and stopped to take some pictures along the way. As we looked back in the distance, we could see our resort, and it was beautiful. But eventually, it was time to head back. One afternoon, we decided to take a whale watching cruise. We went to the harbor in Los Cabos and rented a boat. We headed out and past the marina. Seeing Los Cabos from the water was a neat experience. As we headed out to the ocean, we went by several different beaches. This is Divorce Beach on one side and Lovers Beach on the other. And these are the arches of Los Cabos. This is the exact point where the Pacific Ocean meets the Sea of Cortez. And this is a little window that you can look through in the rock and actually see the Pacific Ocean coming through. The stone formations along this southern tip of the Baja Peninsula are just beautiful. There are many sea lions in this area as well. But the whole reason we went on this cruise was to see a whale. The last time we were in Los Cabos, we were disappointed because we never saw a whale while we were out on our boat tour. But this time, we were not disappointed. As you can see, we were not the only boat that was following this pod of whales. But the most impressive thing to see is when the whale throws its back fin up out of the water. And that is what we kept waiting to see. After seeing this magnificent sight, we headed back to Los Cabos and to the harbor. On the way, we saw a sea lion jump up and be fed by one of the fishing boats. And then saw some of the resorts as we headed back into town. Once there, we walked along the harbor for a while and took some pictures, and then headed back to our resort. It was tough not to be impressed by the beauty of the resort and the wonderful landscaping that they had. The next morning, we saw another whale from our resort, and then decided to go for a little snorkeling. There was snorkeling just right off the beach at our resort, and there were tons of fish to see. It was quite a sight. And here is just an example of some of the things that we saw while we were snorkeling in the shallow water at our resort. Our last night in Cabo, we dressed up and went to dinner and took some pictures. And then toured the resort for one last time. That night we headed to a fire pit and listened to some musicians play. And that ended our time in Cabo. We had a great visit and hope to return again soon. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.